prepare a scan from the Trios to print in the Formlabs printer. So right here we have an upper jaw scan for one of our patients. All you have to do is just export it on the Trios laptop and then email it to yourself or email it to whatever computer you're working on. I want you to open up Meshmixer and then click on Import and then find that file, upperjawscan.stl. Oh, this will take a few minutes. All right, so we've got this model here, but it's hollow. So we have to make it solid so it can print in the printer. Okay, and we got to clean it up so it looks nice and whatnot. So first things first is to move around on Meshmixer, use your right click and then you can drag it around. Or if you're on a laptop and you're using a trackpad, you can use Alt or Option if you're on a Mac. So the first things first is I'm going to go ahead and clean up all these jagged edges. And what's the easiest way to do it is put the tooth kind of horizontal like this and line up all the teeth so it's nice and flush. Go to Edit, Plane Cut, and then just drag and draw a line right there. Now there's a very faint purple arrow here, and what this means is that the translucent part is what will be discarded and the regular part is what stays, but we want to keep the teeth. So let's click on the purple arrow right here, and there we go. And it turns it back to solid on this side, and this is what we want to keep. What the plane cut does is it kind of cuts everything. So I'm using the arc here to kind of adjust the angulation of everything. And then when you feel like it's a good place to cut, you just click Accept. Make sure the cut type is on Cut, discard half, and the fill type is Remesh to fill. And then click Accept. So now we've got a really nice border here. And this will make it really easy for you to fabricate like an Essex retainer or something like that. Okay. All right, so the next part that we'll need to do is there is some empty areas here, and then the whole bottom is still hollow. So what we need to do now is do Command A or Control A to select all. Go to Edit, Extrude, and make sure your settings are on constant and the end type is flat. And I want you to do the offset slider kind of negatively, like this way. There we go. So now we've got a hollow or a solid model, like so. And then click Accept. Now you have your solid model here, but now it's kind of thick. And we could print this on the printer, but we want to save as much ink as possible. So again, just go ahead and line up the teeth like so. Go to Edit, Plane Cut, and plane cut it again. And then purple arrow to save, to tell the computer what we want to save. And then you can actually rotate it around, make sure that you're not cutting out anything super important, like so. So that looks pretty good. And then click Accept. And so now you have exactly what will be printed. And everything's all solid. Sometimes there are some really small holes that you can't see in the scan. So what I'm going to have you do now is do Analysis and Inspector. And then if there's any small holes, there will be kind of these blue or purple lines. You just click on the little spheres that come out around here or so, and that will help, that will auto kind of fix the holes for you. And then you click Done when that's all done. This model in this instance didn't have any holes, so it was a really good scan that was taken. So this is pretty much ready to go. So all you have to do now is do Export, And let's save this as upper to print for S6 retainer, which is what this is for. And make sure the file format is STL binary format. And then now you can exit from this. You don't have to save if you don't want to. So now we have this file, upper to print for S6 retainer. And when you're in the office and you're ready to send this to the printer, you open up Preform. So this is the program that sends any STL files to the printer. So in the printer, just make sure you have the correct ink. So we want gray V3. That's what we have in the office. And that's what we'll use to print our kind of study models or anything that you want to use like a S6 tray off of. So you click Apply, and then all you have to do is just drag it in. And then sometimes we get these little things like roller coasters that you'll see sometimes, and this is the one-click print. That makes it super easy for you to do it. And this is kind of like the safest way to do it, but it does take a lot more time, and it takes a lot more time, and it takes a lot more ink because it has to create this big thing. But let's not do that today. We're going to print it directly onto the printer bed, how we usually do it without all these roller coaster looking things. So all you have to do is click on this button, click Select Base, and then I want you to select the side that's the bottom of the model. So that's the side. And then once you click that, it automatically puts the model right onto the printer bed. And then if you want, you can move it around. Let's see, what am I doing here? All right, click on that button, and then now you can move it around wherever you want. So if you're putting like multiple models on the same area, you just kind of squeeze them all in here. So we'll just put it right there this time. And then when you're ready to print, all you have to do is click Starter Print. I am at home right now, so I'm not connected to our printer, but this will say connected, and then you click Send to Printer, and it takes about 5 minutes for it to upload into the printer wirelessly. Down here, you'll make sure that you have the correct printer, the correct settings, and the 0.05 millimeter is just kind of like a medium setting, so it's not super accurate, but it's not super basic looking, and that's good enough for this purpose for S6 retainers and models and wax ups and whatnot. So the more detailed it is, so like the 0.01, that one takes a lot more time to print the same model, and the 0.05 takes less time, and the 0.1 takes even the least amount of time. So you can see here, you can estimate how long it will take to print. And this one will take 2 hours and 15 minutes. But let's say, for example, we want to make this the fastest print. So it's going to be less accurate at 0.1 millimeters per layer that it's going to print. And let's take a look at it again. And this one's only 1 hour and 9 minutes. So this one's about half of the time. So if you're in a rush and you like really need something quick, then you can use this setting. But let's, since we have a lot of time and this retainer isn't due till next week, we have the luxury of doing a little bit of a finer print thickness there. Okay, that is pretty much it. If you want to do this all at home and then just go to the office and then print it, once you're at this stage, all you have to do is go to File and Save. And then just make sure you save it on your desktop or somewhere you know. And then this is upper print to send to printer. Something, whatever you want to do. I click Save. And so now you have this .form file. And this is what will go into the printer. And that's pretty much it. So from I can do like 5 minutes or so. once you get used to it and figure out how to use all the buttons and stuff in Meshmixer. But this is a very straightforward case, not much to clean up, and the scan was really good, so it didn't take too long. All right, I hope that helps. Take a couple of STL files, scan yourself, do whatever you need to do, but just go ahead and email yourself a file and practice at home. Alrighty.